Hi, this is a recording for Module 1, Lesson 1, 5th grade. I don't have the objective up right now, and I'm sorry about that, but I did want to get right into this new recording for the year 2022. So, we were looking at a place value chart and trying to do a concrete pictorial representation of what happens when we multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000. On this place value chart, the student should know that the 4 is in the ones place, the 8 is in the tenths place, and the 6 is in the hundredths place. Now this gets a little tricky, so bear with me. And the last one is in the thousands place. I'm going to go ahead and do a shortcut there, but it's 1/1000ths. Of course, on this side we have the tens and the hundreds. So we have our place value, and then we have the thousands. So our first number that we're going to multiply by 10 is 4 and 867 thousandths. How do I know it's thousands? Because the 7 lands in the thousands place. We were learning in class that when we multiply by 10, the numbers go up by 1. Think about this. 4 times 10 is equal to 40. So this 4 is going to move to the tens place. And all the other numbers are moving to the left one as well. They're 10 times as much. So this 4 is 10. We're multiplying it by 10, so we're putting it in the tens place, and it becomes 4 times as much as the other 4. Then we put the 8 here, and don't forget that our decimal is represented here with this double line, and then we have a 6 and a 7. Each one moved to the left by 10. When multiplied by 10, you move to the left. Crisscross. All right. So here we go. Our answer to 4 and 867 thousandths times 10 is equal to 48 and 67 hundredths. How do I know it's hundredths? Again, the 7 is in the hundredths place. All right, our next problem starts off the same. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the numbers in the same order. 4 is in the ones place, 8 is in the tenths place, 6 is in the hundredths place, and 7 is in the thousands place. Let me go ahead and change my color so we can just kind of see a difference. So here, I want you to notice that there are 2 zeros. We're multiplying times 100, and if we did 4 times 100, we would have 400. So our 4 is moving 2 spaces over here to the hundredths place. These are my hundredths. Here are my tens, my ones, my tenths, my hundredths, and my thousandths. All right, so therefore the 8 is also going to move 2 spaces. R is going to be multiplied times 10 and move 2 place values to the tens place. So now it's 8 tenths, or 80. And the 6 becomes 6 ones, or just 6. Now the 7 becomes a tenth. Now don't forget that decimal right here. So our answer now, 4 and 867 thousandths times 100 is going to be 400. You can hear it. You can hear the 400 right there. 86 and 7 tenths. Now on the next one, they take it further, and we have everything starts off in the same place. Don't forget our decimals right here. The decimal basically stays in the same place. And this time, we're multiplying times 3 zeros. So we're actually moving over 1, 2, 3. Now remember, this is our thousands place. Remember that 4 times 1,000 is equal to 4,000. So we already know our answer is going to be close to 4,000. Now we're going to move this over 3 spaces. We have 3 zeros. And we're going to move the 6 and the 7. 8 tenths times 1,000 would give me 800. So my new answer here is 4,867. There's no decimal there. We don't need to put decimal because there's nothing to the right of the decimal. Also, if you take note, our 7 here is in the thousands place. And if I multiply 1,000ths times 1,000, I get 1. So 7 thousandths times 1,000 will give me 7 ones. And that's where it landed on the ones. Alright, explain and how and why the value of 6 changed in A, B, and C. Alright, so this is a long explanation. And the explanation is, let's start off with the value of 6. Let's name that. The value of 6 is 6 hundredths. Then in A, the 6, I should put that over here, the 6 becomes, oops, getting ahead of myself, 6 tenths. In B, the 6 becomes 6 ones. See, it's going in order from right to left. And in C, the 6 becomes 6 tens. So the 6 changes the value changes, keeps changing. Because, I'm going to shorten that, I multiplied and made the 6 10 times in the first one, then 100 times. Oops, I was going to put the time symbol. And then 1,000 times greater. Alright, so we go greater when we multiply by 10. On the next problem we're going to be looking at is we're going to focus on division. This is the division. So we're dividing by 10, and as you can see, as the setup is already there, we actually move over 1 space. Now our new answer for 487 divided by 10 is, change my color here, 48 and 6/10. If we divide 400 by 10, we get 40. And as you can see, the 4 lands in the tens place. And if we divide 80, which is where the 8 is, sorry about that, have a little technical difficulty, please wait. Oh, there we go. I clicked on something. 80 divided by 10, we know that there's 8 ones. And that's where the 8 landed, in the ones place. Alright, so here, just like we did before, we're going to start off with the 487. Sorry, I just realized the mistake I did. Oops, I revealed my true colors here. It should be the 6, isn't it not the 6? Yeah, I did that wrong. I did the 6, it was right, 6. It was supposed to be 6. So excuse my mistake. Alright, let me erase this. I'm going to change this over. Sorry about that. This should be a 6. Had it all set up and I just made a mistake, and I apologize for that. Alright, so here we go. That's a 6, so this is a 6. I'll fix it on the next one. Kind of wanted to keep the same digits as we did on the last one above, more or less. So please bear with me. I know this should be a 6, so I'm going to change this to 6. Alright, so now 486 divided by 100 is our next one. And if I divide 400 by 100, I would get 4. So this is moving over 2 spaces to the ones place. And then our 8 and our 6 will be behind it. So 486 divided by 100 will give us 4 and 86 hundredths. Again, it's hard to fit it all in there, so I'm going to go ahead and just put the HTHS. So 4 ones, so our 4 landed in the ones place. Next, we do 1,000, and as you guessed, this time we're moving to the left. We're dividing by 1,000, so we're getting less, and it's going to move 3 spaces. 1, I don't like writing the numbers there because then you might get confused. So there's 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, and then we do the same for the 8 and for the 6. And we put a 0 there just so that people can see it. 0.486 or 486 thousandths. And this is a thousandths place. Alright, so the next thing is to explain how and why the 4 changes in the quotient in A, B, and C. Pretty much it's the same kind of explanation. We kind of go backwards and just explain that part. What I'm going to do is do that last part. If I move 3 places because I divided by 1,000, which is like dividing by 10 3 times. So we do divide by 10 3 times. So right here we have 486 divided by 10, 480 divided by 10, divided by 10. Right? That's the same as 486 divided by 1,000. So we move over one space for each of these tens, or you can just count the zeros to help you understand that. All right. In all of the problems, the 4 got smaller. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. This is my second attempt for recording, and I lost some of my train of thoughts. But basically, you know that it's getting smaller because you're dividing. It's 1/10 the size as the one before. It goes down 1/10, or divide by 10, then you divide by hundreds, and then you divide by 1,000. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. I will post more. Remember to do your best. Always do your best. There is no try. May the force be